So my old job at a golf course, like the owner of the golf course also owned a bunch of apple orchards. And so driving past these apple orchards, all these apples just fall onto the ground. And once they fall onto the ground, you can't use them anymore. You're not allowed to sell an apple for like consumption if it hits the ground. I think you're only able to sell it as bait for deer or like maybe crush it into juice, but you're not allowed. And that is way smaller of a margin that you can sell that for, not nearly as much as just a fresh apple. Right. So my idea was to like put some stakes, like 4 stakes around each tree, and then put a net underneath so that if the apple falls, it catches the apple. So you just collect them as they fall, like each day or whatever at the end of the week. So then you're still able to maybe do something with it and minimum bruising, whatever. And then maybe if that was feasible, if there's not too much overhead to set up the nets or the manpower to go pick the apples out of the nets, then that could provide them with a lot of extra profit.
Sure.
Yes.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah.
I did not know that rule.
Yeah, neither did I.
That is a sullied apple that has touched the ground.
And it made even more sense to me after I asked them when he said we're not allowed to sell them as regular apples and we make a lot less money on the ones that fall on the ground, versus I was like, oh, you just don't want to eat them because they're bruised. They just literally can't.
Strange.
But who knows?
I don't trust them.
You don't trust them? Yeah, ground apples.
So the ones that fall on the ground, you can't officially put a razor in them on Halloween.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. They won't get to the consumer.
But that's why that's what the net is for, so you can put a razor in them.
I'd put a razor blade in apple cider. That's what I'd just put it right in there.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's an untapped market. Yeah.
I'm thinking of like, in like junior high or high school, you make like the egg drop things. You build like a little carton around the egg and you try to drop it from
the roof.
That's like perfect training for like making like an apple holder thing. Like put the net right around the apple.
Right.
Don't put it on the ground.
Yeah, put it around each seed.
Be like a human spider and make like this fake spider protectory thing around the apple. That way when it falls, it doesn't hit the ground.
Make a web shooter on your wrist.
And when you buy it in the store, you got to peel your apple. Peel the web off.
Gross. That's gross. I do. That's a sweet idea, man. Legit.
Yeah, that one's more legit.
Really good idea.
We'll see.
Good idea.
How many apple orchards and trees do you think there are?
Well, I know this off the top of my head. There's a lot of trees and probably even more apples, but
probably.
I'm not sure if it's worth it.
You probably need like 100,000 of those things to put underneath the trees, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I'm wondering if it's just too much money up front to like put the nets there, or if they get in the way of like when the machine goes through and sprays them, or so that's another consideration.
It's even labor intensive putting it in.
It is. Yeah, you got to pound the stake into the ground.
You got to get a lot of Mexicans to come and do that work, right?
A couple.
Yeah. That's why we can't build the wall, man. We need that. We need those Mexicans to come in to get the apples, man.
Sure. You know how dolphins like get caught in fishermen's nets?
Yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of dolphins in our apple nets.
A bunch of deer like caught in the nets.
That's another thing that the executives study would have caught before we actually implement this.
Or that's how you catch the deer. I mean, you could get a permit for that maybe.
Yeah.
Those were the bait apples, right?
They were the bait apples, yeah. Now we got a fresh
full circle.
You might make more money off of the deer than
we
the
would.
apples.
Yeah, it's just a deer net now.
Make it a petting zoo maybe or something.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's a deer spider web.
Venison jerky.
Yeah.
What if venison jerky touches the ground? Can we sell that to the consumer?
10-second rule on that one, yeah.
We got a 10-second rule on the jerky. Just blow off the dust.
Yeah, for sure.
Very good.
Did you run that by your friend with the apple orchard?
Yeah, I did. And he was interested. I think he wasn't sure about how much it would, like, just the logistics of trying to, like, you'd have to create the nets by yourself. Like, that doesn't exist. So you'd have to, like, literally go with somebody who can make the net specifically for you and the system. And so he just doesn't have enough time to do that.
Right.
And I'm not serious enough about this idea to go do it for him. So.
Well, it'd have to be like a really soft, like rope net.
It would,
because if it was like a fishing wire, it would just like chop the
apples. Although you could put the soft net underneath and then the fishing wire above, and you could have falling sliced apples. Sure.
Yeah. Put out some caramel to dip in it. Oh God, it'd be the best.
You could just lay under the tree and have it fall into your mouth. The slices.
I like it. Yeah. We're thinking.
Yeah.
This is how shit gets done. I'm Stu McCallister.
I'm Simon Carlson.
I'm Sal Demilio.
I'm your host, Tom Walma, and this is Creativity Wasted. If you like this podcast, please subscribe and give a review or rating on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or wherever you got it. I have a website, creativitywasted.com, and I also started a Patreon. So if you love the show, consider donating to Patreon. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.